Hi everyone, welcome to Little Way Homestead. Thank you for being here, watching our channel. We run a little homestead, and some of you might be saying, what the heck is a homestead? Well, a homestead for us is like a small scale farm where we raise the animals that we desire to have on our land. So we have a small little herd, 4 goats, female goats. We have 3 pigs, we have chickens and ducks and some rabbits, what else? Turkeys, we have a hamster, but that doesn't help really with our homestead, it just gives us some joy to watch. Yeah, so I got up early this morning and I'm just going to try to let out some of the animals before the kids start running down to help. Behind me is our turkeys. Over there is our new laying hens to be. Colby, I don't know if you can see our piggy over there. He's waiting to be fed. So everybody is waiting right now. So I thought I'd give you a little tour of our homestead today. I'm going to start letting the animals out and then I will show you around. Here I'm going to be letting out our turkeys. So here they are, waiting in jail, we call it, to get out and eat. The turkeys haven't been here that long. There's not a lot of poop on the ground. I'm just going to pour some of their feed right on the ground for them. Okay. See? So I'll just pour it down on the ground. They'll come out and eat everything. There you go, turkeys! There we go. I hear you, Colby. There's our turkeys. Okay, now I'm with the new laying hens. We got these guys about end of February. They're going to be laying probably with next month. Some may lay earlier. It usually takes about 6 months for chickens to lay, depending on the breed. So we're just going to get them ready to lay. So we're going to be putting hay in the back of their nest box. You have the nesting boxes that pull right out. We're going to be filling them with some hay. So here I'm going, also they were just moved here, so I'm going to just pour their feed down where I don't see any poop. So there we go. And they have no idea where I put them. Come on, chickens, over here. Come on, chickens. Come on, chickens. Right here, chickens. Here, see? There you go. Oh, they all found it. There you go. See? So they'll eat right off of here, and they have plenty of tall grass in here and bugs. It's going to be a super hot day today, so I want to make sure everybody has water, so I'm going to be doing their water right now. I'm going to work on the pigs and I'll come back to the turkeys and the chicks, and maybe one of the kids will be up by then. Okay. Many people may think you know, what led us to homesteading, and how long have you been homesteading? How much can you know in such a short time? Well, we've been here on this land for 3 years. We were temporarily with my parents for 2, and before that we lived in Maryland for, let's see, I think like about 6 years. So all together we've been homesteading for about 8 years. We started with ducks and chickens. Then when we moved to my parents' house, they weren't allowed to have ducks and chickens in their suburb area. So we decided, since we couldn't have ducks and chickens and we knew we were going to be looking for a place to do some small-scale farming, homesteading, that we wanted to try another animal, and they could have rabbits. So we put rabbits in their garden, and we decided to learn how to raise rabbits for 2 years. So when we got to our place, we thought we could hit the ground running with ducks, chickens, and rabbits, and we can immediately get the next animal to learn. And so that's what we did. When we moved here, okay, the water is cold now. When we moved here, immediately got ducks, chickens. Actually, there was a few ducks and chickens here when we bought the place and some guinea hens. So we added to that flock. And then we brought our rabbits with us and we breeded them and they had babies. And then we immediately got goats so we moved in August. That March or April we got goats. We got our first 2 female goats that one was pregnant. And then later that June we got our first 2 pigs. And that's what we have now. And then that following year we raised our first turkeys, our first 3 turkeys. And that's where we're at now. Now we're able to do all of it together since we worked slowly at learning how to raise all these different animals. And we're still learning. You're learning every day. I don't care how old you are or how young you are and how long you've been doing homesteading. You are learning every single moment when you're out here. And especially if you're, there's no farmer that can tell me, oh yeah, I know everything. You're always learning something. You're constantly observing what the animal does. If you're doing it, especially holistically, you really want to watch your animals. So you learn a lot from just watching and paying attention. Okay, now I'm moving to Colby, who's waiting for me. I think you can see him. He is an Idaho pasture pig. I call him my love because I absolutely adore him. Everything I've ever heard about pigs is totally wrong. So they say pigs smell, pigs are really dirty. They really are. I mean, he looks really dirty right now, but he goes in the mud and a wallow because, why do you go in the mud and wallow? Huh, Colby? He goes in his wallow and mud in the summertime hardcore because he's, cooling himself off. He helps with mosquitoes and flies biting him, the hard cover of the mud. So they naturally will get dirty, but they don't smell. And pigs, just to tell you a little secret, pigs, they do not poop where they lay or eat, and they normally poop in one spot. So one area will begin to smell a little bit, but then we bring in chickens. Let me turn the fence off. We bring in chickens to scratch up their poop after we move them. Hi, Colby. Okay, move back, buddy. Can you move back? Can you move back? Can you go to your bowl? Come on, go to your bowl. Come on, go to your bowl. I can't even see if I'm seeing it. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, so here we go. This will be interesting because I need my other hand usually to tell them to move back. Okay, move back. Move back, Colby. Move back some more. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So here is our Colby. And I really do. I love this pig so much. So, Idaho pasture pigs. And here we have Ruth and Boaz, our other 2 pigs. One is our feeder and one will be mated with Colby. As you can hear them. They're ready to eat. Hi, Boaz. Hi, Ruthie. Boaz is the one that's more black. He will be our feeder pig, and Ruthie is going to be a family member. She's going to live out her life as our breeder. So let's go feed them. This will be interesting too, holding the camera. Here we go. We got our bucket and our piggies. These 2, they don't listen as well as Colby does, but they're getting there. So let's see what happens. Hi, Ruthie. Hi, Boaz. So I kind of squeeze in between the 2 pig fences and off to the races. Okay, guys, let's move back. Let's see if we can find our bowls. Where's your bowl, Boaz? Good boy. Good boy. So they're really calm pigs. I don't know how I'm going to pour it. No, move back. Move back. Move back. Move back, Boaz. Okay. They don't move back as well as Colby, but I still love them. Okay? Stay over there so I can pour your next one. There you go. Hi, Ruthie. go and they ask, what are they eating? Hi Ruthie, no more. There's no more in there. Well, there's a little bit, I'll dump out, but so really gentle. Ruthie's really gentle. Boaz is really, really gentle too. I've never, thank God, have gotten bit by a pig yet, and I hope never to. But what are they eating? So he's got milk from our goat. I'm trying to fatten him up, and our goat milk is so good, and the pigs love it. So we're giving him some goat milk. He's got barley and oats and wheat. Normally I have a lot of peas in there, but peas have been so expensive. So I've been replacing the protein with milk and eggs. So they have some eggs, milk, eggs as their protein, and then they have wheat, oats, and that's all fermented as well. We ferment our chicken feed, we ferment our pig feed. We don't ferment the goats. They have bellies of their own that do the fermenting, so we don't need to do that. But and they don't really like to eat it. We did try it once. Only one male goat liked it. So yeah. So I'm going to give them some extra water. It gets a little dry down here. It doesn't stay as wet as Colby's area. So we have this sandbox, and I prefer this one because they have never been able to break it, and I just fill it with water. So I'll come down and fill it with some more water for them because it's going to be very hot today. So I'll fill that with water. They have hi Boaz. They have this little triangle water that I put here. They tilt it over, but it usually stays with water, so I would just fill that up now too. And I'm sweating. It's very hot today. Very hot early in the morning, so it's going to be a very brutal day on the animals. So hi Colby, I want to make sure they have their water. Super important on a hot day. Colby has 2 wallows that he's made, and they have stayed filled with water even though we hadn't had rain in like a month. His were still filled, and then the last 2 days we've had some rain, thankfully, and they filled back up. So he's good on water right now. I'll come back around lunch maybe to check on him. So he has some wallows. Hi, Colby boy. And yeah, his fence is on. Just got to get everybody water. And then off to the meat birds. And still, the kids are not up. So they needed a little bit of a break of sleeping in. We've been doing, we did a ballet camp last week, and it tired everybody out. Joey didn't do a ballet camp. He just stayed home with his papa. Okay, well now Joseph has joined me, so I didn't get to finish all the chores without a kid coming out yet. But I got pretty far. I got the pigs done, I got the ducks and chickens done, I got these chickens done, and the turkeys almost. I just got to fill their water up. One thing that's not convenient for us is water on our farm. We don't have any systems going down to the animals, so we end up just using our hose. I mean, we could extend the hose a little more, but we end up using our hose, and Joseph is just using gallons we saved to fill up, and we'll just track them over to the meat birds to give them water. So it's a little bit complicated, but it works. Let's see how strong I am if I can move this with one hand and holding the video. I don't think so. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, I can do it. Slowly. 1, 2, 3. Joy's feeding them, and I'll move them some more. I'm gonna just get in here and get their water out. Or water. He's eating. Their water is nice and clean. We have our ducks who are quacking at me. I gotta turn the fence off first so I can get in there to show you. So here are our ducks in the shade of our apple tree. So we have a few different ducks. I think you've seen some of our videos. If you haven't, we have khaki Campbells. We have a mixed duck that we bred here on our own, which is a mix of a Pekin and a khaki, I believe. We have Pekins, those are the white ducks. We have Muscovies, Pekins right here, a Pekin in the pool. Over here to surprise you. If you've watched our videos already, you know what we have. This is the duck house. It's actually our chicken tractor that we're going to be using for our meat birds. We're going to build something else for the ducks again. But inside here, you see the chicken has found its way in. So we have a chicken and 5 of her chicks that she hatched living with the ducks right now, because the chicken's very brutal and the ducks aren't mean to them. So we keep our broody hen sitting under eggs in the duck yard. They have their own little enclosure. I don't know if you can see over there, there's like another little tractor. That's where they actually live. Another surprise is a broody duck. So let's go see her. There she is. It's kind of mean when you get close. See, and she's sitting on, see, she's pulled out her feathers and she's made a nest. She's sitting on many duck eggs, and I'm hoping that they hatch. I'm not sure they will. We'll see what happens. It'd be a great surprise if they do hatch. But she's sitting under many eggs, and all kinds. She's sitting under Pekins, she's sitting under Muscovies, and she's sitting under khaki Campbells as well. So we're hoping. I love ducklings. They're actually, ducklings are my absolute favorite on the homestead. Chicks are cute, but there's nothing cuter than ducklings. They're just so cute with their floppy little webbed feet and their cute beaks. They're just really sweet. Next to our garden, we have our compost chickens, I call them. If you see, we throw all our compost in here, and they're composting our land. An easy way to do composting is with chickens. So I take this and I use it in our garden, which helps so many things to grow. So we give them our hay, our poop from the pigs, but mostly the hay and the pigs from the goats. And there's a deer fly. Oh, I hate deer flies. We hate flies. And they also have in the back, they have grass of their own. So it's not all compost, but majority of it is compost. But we're working on, we let them out quite often too on the grass, and we're working on making just a pallet shelter where I can move them out of the compost for a while, and they can just eat some ticks and bugs on parts of the land, and then back in with compost. So we're gonna switch them off and on with composting and with being out on more grass, and then goats. And finally, the girls are up and they're milking. So I'll show you. So on this side of the house, we have Sienna being milked, and you can see lovely Kiara. Can you see yourself over there? Let's see. There's Kiara milking. And now I distracted Sienna, so she doesn't want to be milked. Sienna could also be mad at Kiara because Kiara got up way too late and she's been waiting to be milked. So sometimes goats are funny like that. They just like a dog, like, you know, you leave the dog alone for a while and it gets mad at you and it pees on the floor and you're like, what are you doing? It's because you weren't paying attention to her. And the same with Sienna. She'll move her legs and not let you milk. And here's her baby waiting for her. Say, you're not ready to get milked yet, right? Yeah. Katarina is finally up. Filling the water for the goats. Her and Kiara both take care of the goats. Katarina will milk Agnes, and Kiara will do Sienna, like she's spraying herself. So, on the homestead, we don't always wake up super early to do the animals. We try to, but honestly, I feel like sometimes our kids need to sleep as well. And that's the beautiful thing about homeschooling too and homesteading, is they can sleep in, get the rest that they need, and then work on their schoolwork and work on the farm, run out and play. They really have a beautiful, beautiful life. Basically do chores in the morning and in the evening. And occasionally we check on them in the afternoon when it's very hot to make sure they have the right amount of water. And they didn't knock over a shelter and it's basic things. We just basic maintenance. Make sure nobody's stuck in the fence if the fence isn't snapping. You know, without the rain, fences don't normally snap as well. They need some water to make that shock. And so, I forgot to turn off I turned off the wrong fence. Okay, and last through our garden, which I love. I'll just show you the sunflowers. I absolutely love sunflowers. So I originally didn't want to plant them here. I wanted to plant them across where the ducks are. We thought we were going to move the ducks. And because I couldn't do that, I ended up planting them here. They're kind of blocking some of the sun for some of the things, but they're also making shade for some of the things. Anyway, so I wanted to show you the last animals we have. Originally we put our rabbits in these tractors on the ground. Looks like they're all sleeping because it's very hot. So yes, hi. So originally we had our bunnies on these tractors on the ground, moving them, and that was really beautiful. It allowed them to really be as best as a rabbit as you can be. I would say, as of all of the animals on our farm, the rabbits are the ones that aren't able to be as free as a rabbit as can be. But we decided to move them here, one, because two of them ended up dying. A rat or something, we don't even know. We just found like these bones and lemons in the rabbit tractor, and we're like, what? We didn't give that to the bunny. And we found the bunny dead, but there was no markings or anything. So we decided to make it safer for them, and so that we can actually use their poop instead of just keep constantly trying to scoop up what we could. We put them here in cages that we made. So we made these bunny hutches in the garden, so their poop goes down there, which there's tons of worm in there too. Their poop attracts too many worms, so we can scoop up their poop and use it through the garden, and they're very easy to take care of. Right now, I'm going to show you the cage is a mess, but this is from last night. We forage for them. The kids forage, they grab all kinds of stuff throughout the garden, weeds throughout the garden, and even extra like kale leaves and stuff like that, but they'll mostly grab the weeds out of the garden and give it to the bunnies. So Katerina and Kiara also do the bunnies, so they'll come in and clean what they ate from last night and then give them new food. But here is our male bunny. Hi! He's very hot, so what we'll do on a hot day too is we have frozen water bottles that we put in there to keep him cool. Let's see. Hi! He's very hot too. It is super hot today. This is Annie Bunny. Hi Annie! So she's waiting to be fed and new fresh water. Right? So we have 3. Oh, sorry, there's one more. Mike. Okay, so there's one more animal that I need to show you. Okay, so the last tour on the homestead is inside the house. No, I'm not going to show you the whole inside of the house, just where our garage is. And some of you already know this, but we have another batch of meat birds that we're growing out. So here are our meat birds, our next round of meat birds. and we don't need the light anymore. It's so hot today. And next week I'll open up the second part for them and let them have, I'll have the realm of the entire brooder, and then they'll go out in another week or so. They'll actually be much bigger than this next week. They grow really fast. So thank you for joining me on our tour. If you can like and subscribe and share with others and whatever else you're supposed to do, so that YouTube will place your videos in front of people more, and we'll get more likes and more subscribers. The more subscribers you get, the more support you're giving our family. So if you please, we are really grateful for any likes, subscribing, and sharing that you do. Thank you so much.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.